Hello there programs, it's Rooza here and welcome back to another episode of What the FX. Thanks so much for tuning in guys, your support here means the world. If you're new to my channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you can catch all my latest special effects breakdowns. This week I'm going to be talking about something that is going to change the world. Yep, that is right. This is all about the special effects breakdown of The Irishman. So every generation, something really special comes along. Star Wars did it, Lord of the Rings did it, and they used these pioneering effects that pushed, if not indeed broke the limits of what is possible through digital manipulation. The Irishman is one of these moments, a moment in history where the special effects used and the techniques used in The Irishman are going to forever change the way we do film and television shows to date. Now I could talk about film history and costumes back in the day and how they used makeup and all of that kind of jazz, but we're here to talk about the special effects of The Irishman. How the heck do you create a younger version of an actor? How do you get the right lighting? How do you get the right performance? How do you scan your set to be able to manifest and create a completely digital human being? And let me tell you now, it's not an easy process, and this is created by my idols at the Industrial Light and Magic Studios, who create special effects here that are going to change everything. So no one thought this was possible. Martin Scorsese had this idea and he approached Industrial Light and Magic and said, look, can we do this? And everyone kind of looked at each other and was like, well, let's give it a shot. And as you can see from the scene, Robert De Niro does a take from the old school Goodfellas film where he was in, and you can see it's just magical.
You're gonna get us all pinched, you f***ing bozo. What's the matter with you? You're gonna get us all pinched, you f***ing bozo. What's the matter with you?
So what Industrial Light and Magic did was create two teams to work on these special effects. One was to create just a camera rig built specifically for these scenes, and the other was to work on the software to actually be able to generate these younger versions of the characters that we're gonna see. Now I'm just gonna stop here guys, because if you've watched The Irishman, now even if you haven't, go and watch it. It's a long movie, but it's amazing. And if you have watched it, I don't know if you asked yourself at any point in watching it that, holy crap, these guys are 3D generated. Or even if you asked yourself, what do they actually look like in real life? And if you didn't ask those questions, these guys did their job. So the camera rig they used was actually built entirely for this movie. There isn't actually much out there right now that has been able to do this. And what they've done is they took a single camera and they surrounded it with infrared cameras. They obviously built a lot of these sets, but one thing you must know about infrared is it doesn't produce shadows when you record the footage, which is very important when it comes to recreating a 3D model. Obviously you have to get a lot of different angles and a lot of different scene shots, and these cameras were obviously set up to do this. Now, onto the good part. So they had two programs they used to create these younger versions of the characters we know and love here. So Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Al Pacino are obviously a lot older, and they needed to try and find a way to interpret what their younger selves would look like in a 3D character. So the first thing they do is they have a program called Medusa. So what Medusa does is it's actually an expression capturing software that will put an actor in front of a camera and then record their movements of their face. I did that really badly, I'm not an actor, okay? But they put Robert De Niro in front of this camera and he went through expressions, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of expressions, and this program recorded all of them. What that program does is actually calculate the gaps in between the expressions and work out how the skin would move, the subtle nuances and things like that. The other program they used is called Flux, and Flux is actually used to create a lot of the deepfake videos you see out there, and it's an immensely powerful program for recreating light and how light moves in a scene, especially how 3D generated textures and models would interact with light once you put them into a specific scene. Incredibly powerful and massively complex. Been in the 3D field and a 3D artist for many years, and I can tell you now the single hardest effect to recreate is the human face. Human beings have recognized patterns since the dawn of time, and we are very good at picking apart if there is something incorrect in the human face. So to recreate that in a digital medium, there's no room for error. And this is where the magic comes in here. With all these components combined, you can calculate things like when a face moves in a specific scene and there's blood vessels involved in your space, especially with an older type of character, you can then calculate the correct amount of diffuse that light would be, that is obviously the spread of light on a specific object, or the scattering of light, which is how light bounces off a specific object, especially if it's 3D generated. And these two programs actually calculate it all for you. There's no animator that actually sits there hand by hand animating. That's not even possible for an animator. Look at this, guys, it's unbelievable. This is not just a recreation, guys, this is a manifestation of imagination, and I challenge you to go and watch The Irishman and try and find something wrong with those 3D generated characters of the three main actors. Let me tell you, I wish I had their processing power, because you'd need a freaking server farm just to get out 30 seconds of some of the clips in this movie, and I wish I had that much power at my hands. I think one great thing about this technology is it still requires human beings to be involved. You still need a producer, you still need great performances from actors in order for this to seem realistic and real, which is really, really great. You still need the producers, you still need VFX artists. So it's a combination of technology working together with humans to create the ultimate effect. And that to me is what technology is all about. I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I want you guys to make a comment below on how you think this technology is going to change the world. If you found something interesting, smash that subscribe button, hit me up with a like. It's Rooza here, I will catch you on the next level.